All right, so we are here with
Mason Kelly.
Gavin Kelly.
and today we will be interviewing you about a few questions varsity football. So first, let's start off. What position do you play?
I am the fullback, and I also play a little bit on defense. It's called the dog. It's more of like an outside linebacker, a little bit of defensive end.
I play wide receiver, and I'm also our kicker. I don't really do anything on defense.
Okay.
How did you guys end up playing those positions?
I think since I was really young, it kind of all depends on what you did in youth football. So I was the fullback. That was just always where I'd like to play, and I grew up watching the Eagles, and one of my favorite players was LaShawn McCoy. That's actually why I wear number 25. So that really kind of inspired me to try out running back, and ever since then I just stuck with it.
Actually answered one of our later questions.
I'll cover more of it.
Okay.
I'm same situation as him. All throughout youth, I was a receiver, and I was our kicker too. So I kind of just stuck with it.
All right. So why did you first decide to play football?
I think a lot of it has to do with like the physicality. I like get hitting people, and I honestly like getting hit too. Like, it's fun. It lets you kind of release stress sometimes, I think. So growing up doing that, it's just it was a good way to let emotions out if you needed to. And at the same time, I think there's a lot of complexity to it. The game itself is difficult to understand, but once you kind of get to that level of discipline where you're able to execute, it just, the game itself really helps develop you.
I think I play football because I grew up as a kid watching and playing it. I would always watch football with him, my dad, just our whole family. The Eagles we would watch all the time. That's our team, and we just all loved it.
What are your proudest moments as a football player?
Proudest moment, I'd probably have to say, just like any general time that I performed to my full potential, I think a good example was probably last year in the section finals against Harrison. Because earlier in the season against Harrison, I think I underperformed. I didn't have the best game. And in that game, in the section championship, I kind of really stepped up, and I think I had one of my better games in my career. So that was a pretty proud moment for me as a player.
For me, it would be in youth. In youth, we won 3 championships, and we played New Rochelle when I was in 4th grade. And I remember we had 4 overtimes, and I made a huge catch to score an extra point. It was to tie the game and keep going, and we ended up winning that game. It was just an insane game, and I still think about it today.
All right. So how did you work up to where you are now as a player?
I think a lot of it has to do with weightlifting. I like to go to the gym a lot, so I take that seriously. So that definitely helps me on the field because it definitely gives you an advantage when you're strong. As a player, I think other sports also has a big impact on that. Playing lacrosse, such a fast game, it helps build up that speed, IQ as well. Just playing since I was so young really helps develop IQ and just knowledge about the game in general. My awareness as a running back is important. So just putting so many years into it really helped develop me to where I am now.
Throughout the year, I've had a lot more practice kicking. In the beginning of the year, I had a rough start against Ramapo. I had missed 2 extra points, but throughout practice and throughout this whole year, every single day I've been working with coaches. I've been just practicing kicking so much, and I've just improved, in my opinion, improved a lot.
So what NFL player would you compare yourself to, and why that player?
So, although I mentioned before, I do really like LaShawn McCoy. I don't know if I feel like that'd be giving myself a little too much credit if I compare myself to him, because I don't know if you guys have seen shady highlights, but he was special. If I had to compare myself to someone, I don't know. That's a tough question. I guess I'll stick with him just because that's kind of the person I really modeled my game after, just because I grew up admiring him. Especially being a huge Eagles fan, He was shifty, very shifty, and I think that's a good part of my game. I think I have the ability to make quick moves, so if I had to compare to anyone, even though he's got the upper hand on me, I'd have to say LaShawn McCoy.
All right.
This is also a tough question for me. Yeah, honestly, Devontae Smith from the Eagles. It's one of my favorite players.
All right, and how do you feel about how this varsity football season has gone overall for you and the team?
I think it's obviously no denying that we're 8-0, so we've had tons of success so far. But I think some of the less seen part of it is how much we've developed as a team. Early in the season against Ramapo, we almost let that one slip away. I'm pretty sure, we were underperforming. We weren't as strong as we are now, especially in those first 3 weeks. We were tight with Yorktown all the way up until the final whistle, and Mayapack was in it with us until about the third quarter when we really took off. But I think since then we found our chemistry better. Our offensive line is starting to develop a lot more. Our defense has come together too. So I think all factors combined, we've had a great season, and we're just going to continue having a great season.
All right, and another question I'm going to ask before we go is, how do you feel to be on the same football team together?
I mean, it's definitely an experience that's unique. There's not many brothers on the team. I think the only other one is the Iglesias brothers. So I always wanted to be on the same team as my brother, but he didn't end up playing last year, and this is his first year coming back to football. So it's definitely very special, and it's cool when he kicks an extra point. I get to celebrate with him and stuff. And growing up in youth, I always thought about it. And now this year is the only year we get to do it together, so we're going to make the most out of it.
Well, thank you for coming today.
Thank you, Benny.
Of course, thank you for having us. Thank you.
Thank you.